Well, we can now go ahead and add another strange fire to that list, because over in Williamsburg, there is an underground fire that has been raging for days. Yes, days, at a premium outlet. Matter of fact, this fire underground is so bad that it was reported 2 days ago, 75 to 80% of the overflow parking lot had collapsed.
Underground, after an underground fire from this weekend continues to collapse the ground above it. As of this evening, the fire is not out and the collapse may still be expanding. Alex Littlehales has reaction from those living nearby.
This is not the typical air in this James City County neighborhood.
There's a lot of stuff usually going on at the outlets, but this is kind of weird.
Where Joe Bradigam lives. He can't see the exact source of smoke clouding over his driveway.
Rubbery, plastic.
But neither can James City County firefighters, who make this their living.
We don't have experience with underground fires. We have not experienced one, certainly in a stormwater containment system, so it makes access to our water streams difficult.
We are told nearly 80% of this unoccupied parking lot at the Williamsburg Premium Outlets is gone. The near total collapse is from a still burning underground fire to the outlet's storm system, and the longer it burns, the bigger the collapse. For now, James City County Fire Chief Ryan Ash says the best answer is to let it burn out.
We're also concerned with any runoff and with the environmental hazards that may create, so we've elected at this point to allow it to burn out.
The good news, or at least a silver lining, sewer and gas lines are unaffected.
The vinyl siding, you definitely can... You get a smell that's not that, and it's not a woodsy.
That only leaves the smoke
either, so it's definitely different.
And smell, which still comes and goes.
Yeah, been trying to stay inside.
The Virginia Department of Health says that the air quality from this fire is not at a threshold that is considered dangerous right now. And investigators do add that because of all of the damage to this parking lot, they may never find the true cause exactly of this fire. In James City County, I'm Alex Littlehales for 13 News Now.
Now, the most recent update to this story from the time I began this recording says crews waiting for a fire below Williamsburg parking lot to die out before they can investigate the cause. Now, the fire has not gone away yet, and they have not investigated the cause, but they say that the cause of the fire was due to an underground storm drain system. That is correct. Even though they have not done an investigation yet, they are blaming this fire on an underground storm drain system, which they are saying collapsed the tunnel. Yeah, sure.
Fire at the Williamsburg Premium Outlets has been burning for nearly a week, and this drone video shows the damage from above. Check it out. Tonight, fire officials in James City County are saying the owners of the shopping center have hired a contractor to get underground and to try to get closer to this fire. Miles Hood brings us the latest developments.
James City County Fire Chief Ryan Ash updated 13 News Now during a tour of this crumbled parking lot that's a near total collapse.
We're really getting to some of the hottest areas we've seen and really turning that pile over, allowing us to get good extinguishment.
Chief Ash reiterated Wednesday that the fire is contained to the individual parking lot and they don't expect it to spread to the main parking lots, the outlets themselves, or nearby neighborhoods.
We know that the fire is contained to this area, as it has really been since Saturday. So we're not concerned about any homes or buildings being damaged from the fire.
The fire began Saturday morning, but shopping at the outlets isn't impacted. Shoppers I spoke with say they're not too worried.
Yeah, we saw the smoke, was getting closer to the outlets, but now I'm not really worried about it. I mean, pretty sure it's probably, contained, so hopefully that's the case, and they get to the bottom of it.
Chief Ash is hopeful for more containment progress in the coming days.
So we're hoping that by tomorrow it'll be significantly reduced. We still may see some smoke over the next few days just because there's been a tremendous amount of heat, but I think we're going to see that a lot better here in the next day.
Officials with the James City County Fire Department say that the fire could burn for another few days, and investigators point out that the damage to the parking lot is so extensive that they may never know the cause. In Williamsburg, I'm Miles Hood for 13 News Now.
Now to the latest on that underground fire at the Williamsburg Premium Outlets.
Firefighters think they may soon get the upper hand on this stubborn fire. Chopper 10 was up this morning as the smoke was thick. Look at that, lingering in the area of the outlets. It's not just a problem for firefighters. Oh no, it's also frustrating for people who live in the development right next to those outlets. 10 on your side's Kagan Hughes continues our coverage of the story there. And Kagan, you're in someone's backyard right there.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Aisha. Someone that we spoke to actually gave us permission to be live right here for you guys. And you can actually just see how close we are. I mean, that is in their backyard where the firefighters are working to battle this fire. I mean, we're going on day 5 right now. And those neighbors that we spoke to say the smoke and smell have caused a lot of problems.
It changed a lot, but at night you can really tell because you see the flames, and it looked like a scene from like an opening to hell.
Video from Chopper 10 shows the extensive damage on how this underground fire has torn up the parking lot at the Williamsburg Premium Outlets. On ground, crews are using heavy equipment to dig up and tear apart the collapsed parking lot to allow the heat to go to the surface before it's sprayed by a hose.
And they're allowing us to remove that concrete and sort of turn the pile over, which is allowing us to apply our hose streams from our ladder trucks and able to really see some extinguishment. So it's mostly cooling. A lot of it's been underground holding heat under the gravel.
But the smoke has to go somewhere, and neighbors who live right behind the parking lot say it's going into their homes.
My wife taped the windows and the doors because the smell is in the house. The burning plastic is in the house.
The burning plastic smell are these. Crews believe these plastic crates that make the underground stormwater system are what is burning.
It was really hard to kind of sleep and just breathing out, just breathing.
The EPA says the air monitoring levels have been acceptable.
Because we don't want to be in this house.
One person who lives on this street told us that he bought a couple air purifiers to try to mask the smell, and his family even temporarily moved away into a hotel room. Fire Chief Ryan Ash says an end might be in sight for these neighbors.
So we're hoping that by tomorrow it'll be significantly reduced. We still may see some smoke over the next few days just because there has been a tremendous amount of heat.
Now, the scale of this fire is 3 acres and about 12 feet deep. Now, the people that I spoke to say the James City County Fire Department has been very transparent on what is happening. They even said a federal investigator has came to their house to ask them for videos of their backyard. In James City County, Kagan Hughes, 10 on your side.
Following through now on a bizarre situation at the Williamsburg Premium Outlets this weekend. A fire underground causing a parking lot to partially collapse. James City County officials say a fire that sparked in an underground storm water system somehow caused part of the parking lot to collapse. It led to smoke in the area and, out of caution, some businesses temporarily closed, but reopened by yesterday morning. No reports of any injuries, but it is still unclear exactly how that fire started. We have a crew right now working to get more answers. Stay with us for the latest updates as we learn them.
In this part of the video, you can see the difference between the part which has collapsed due to the fire and the part which is torn up into rubble due to the track hoe. The stuff up and to the right behind the track hoe, that's been torn up by the track hoe. The stuff that's down on to the left and smoking, that's all busted up due to the fire. Links will be in the description to plenty of other plasma fire videos for people that are not familiar with the subject. I've spoken and shown before on plenty of occasions that this fire does come from underground. I call it underground lightning. I have videos where I've referenced the officials in Canada talking about how this fire is digged deep into the peat and they have to dig it up to extinguish it when it's a wildfire in Canada. But that's a bit in reverse. It doesn't start on the surface and burn its way down into the peat in Canada. It starts below the surface and works its way up. I'll also include a link to Minutes of Horror, whose coverage I used at the very beginning of this video.